Hello and welcome back to the Monsters of Monster Hunter Double Cross, where today we're getting started on Elder Dragons with Kirin, the least draconic looking Elder, well, not the least, but one of the least draconic looking Elder Dragons. Right, it's in G3. One of the very few sub G4 Elder Dragons in G rank. After the last episode, I have gone and swapped my skill back to negate paralysis because Kirin can paralyze and likes to do it fairly frequently, and I don't like being paralyzed for some reason or other. So we're going to go ahead and just have negate paralysis, and we're using Guild Hammer because Kirin's tail is not severable, so hammers are just fine. Though admittedly, using aerial style was something I considered because ponies are meant to be mounted. But I decided against it. And we are going to have infinite stamina for a while because I like it that way. I would be using the Port's Mark if this wasn't better in every way other than amount of purple sharpness. Well, I guess Port's Mark looks better, in my opinion. But when one hammer is clearly statistically better, I gotta go for it. So the pony tends to be in these three lower areas. So, in here? Nope, not in here. Where's my pony? In here, perhaps. There's the pony. It's a shame we don't get to fight Kirin with its own theme very often these days. Because Kirin does have a theme named after it, and it's the Tower theme. So the Forlorn Battleground, or whatever. Forlorn Arena, that's what it's called in this game. Pony ride! Yeah, Forlorn Arena theme is Kirin's theme. It's named for Kirin. But in this game, Kirin doesn't carry it with it. It did in 4U, which is weird. Wow. Missed with the golf swing. Went a little wide. And that's an angry pony. And as you can see, Kirin's do drop sparklies when they are ridden. Turns out they don't like it. Ow. That right there is Kirin's G-rank move. It's a bit of a silly one. Yeah, pretty much all of its lightning attacks have a chance to paralyze. Some of them are guaranteed. Which is why I like to bring negate paralysis against Kirin, because, yeah, there's a lot of para going around, and I don't want any part of it. Ooh, doing a triple. I do like how it has to taunt after that big discharge. Makes it nice and easy to just get a super pound right on that face. Or an uppercut like that one. So, some interesting things about Kirin. It's one of those monsters that was put in the Elder Dragon category simply because it's kind of a catch-all category. Not because it's got, like, Elder Dragon blood or anything. Just because it's a catch-all for things that are mysterious and whatnot, which really begs the question, why don't they classify gore as an Elder Dragon already, huh? If it's a catch-all category, why do we need the question mark category for gore? Seriously, Kirin, why are you raising so many questions about gore? They're very different monsters. Another fun thing about Kirin, the way it kind of zigzag hops around led to it having the nickname Kelbydrome for a while. Though I haven't heard it so much recently. Hey, we broke its horn. That was a break that wasn't added to Kirin until Gen 4. Back in Gen 2, Kirin had no breaks, just its life. Yeah, that zigzag hop. Because Kelbys hop like that. But I guess the reason that people don't call it Kelbydrome recently is probably because dromes aren't really a thing recently. Like, until 4 brought them back. Well, I guess Kirin wasn't in the 3rd gen at all either, so... yeah, I don't know. Thanks, Kirin. I do like how, even though Kirin is definitely a unicorn, it's still got the draconic flavor to it with the scales and, like, its hooves are almost like claws. It's got some interesting stuff going on. It's not just any unicorn. It's a special unicorn. I'm still not a huge fan of it. It's... in all honesty, I find it to be an annoying fight because it just doesn't stay put. And when it does stay put, it's usually doing some AoE thing, which is limiting how close you can get. But then you knock it down and it hangs out just on the floor for a while, and that's nice if you haven't just been sent away by lightning. It's also one of those monsters where, in my opinion, the subspecies is easier. Orochi Kirin doing Ice Blight instead of Thunder Blight and Paralysis is, in my opinion, much easier to deal with because no paralysis. Kirins have also been the subject of some rather interesting DLC quests. Like in 4U, there was the one that had 2 giant Kirins, one of each flavor, on the tower. And just because of their massive size and the fact that they were together on the tower, made it really difficult to actually avoid all their stuff reliably. So that was a tough quest. This game decided to have that quest in its own way. There's an event quest featuring 2 giant Kirins on the tower, though they're both regular Kirins because Orochi Kirin isn't. I ran out of breath there. Because Orochi Kirin isn't in this game, so yeah, it's both regular Kirins. But also, instead of being a high-rank quest with overtuned Kirins, it is a low-rank quest, and to make up for it, they make you do it naked. So it's an interesting quest. Not one that I'm going to be doing here, though, unless I manage to kill this Kirin, like, within the next 5 minutes. Let's actually say, like, before we hit the 10-minute mark. Because the 10-minute mark is my usual mark for, okay, it has been enough time Yeah, I don't think we're going to kill this Kirin that fast. I mean, it's possible. I just don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, unless I'm thinking that I really need to pad for more time. We're not going to be seeing that quest because I don't like it. Fighting giant Kirins in the nude is not my idea of a good time, no matter how silly the quest is. Also, the fact that when Kirin enrages, its hairs stand on end and become super stiff. It's a neat thing conceptually, but mechanically it's kind of annoying because it makes it so that you bounce off a lot of the Kirin. Oh, this isn't going to be good. Oh, so much for that Mega Potion. Not the greatest time to use this, but we got some hits. Plus, we got to start building up another one eventually. The hunter art that you just hold for the whole quest isn't worth anything. Like this absolute evasion I'm sitting on. Been sitting on it for a while. That kick attack wasn't added to Kirin until Gen 4 as well. They definitely gave Kirin some changes in Gen 4 to make it a little more pleasant and interesting to fight. It's still annoying in my opinion, though. Just the fact that you bounce off so much of it, even with purple when it's enraged. The fact that it moves around so quickly and can cause paralysis. Just everything about Kirin, except for its visual design, is just working to make me not care for it at all. The visual design I only really care for because it's an interesting take on the unicorn concept. Like, unicorns alone, I'm not a huge fan, but like, it's got some cool patterning on the scales, and the fact that it's a scaly unicorn is just interesting. Okay, bye. It occurs to me that having infinite stamina isn't hugely important because we're not aerial style. I actually don't know which way the Kirin went, but I'm going to assume this way. Hey, good. Wow. Just kind of curved that right around its head. Incidentally, Kirin are prey items for Rajang. And it is in fact eating Kirin that gives Rajang their thunder powers, so hey, eat yourself some Kirins and you too can start yelling beams of electricity at people, I guess. Wow, really? That last lightning bolt was just like a middle finger straight at me. Well, hey, at least I interrupted the kick that was going to go straight for me. Need to see if I can get another knockdown, though, because knockdowns are easily the best time to use Spinning Meteor. Ow. So, Pony, you wanna ever hold still? Like, for any duration of time? I mean, I can see the answer is clearly no, but... like, can you just pretend it's yes for a little while? Well, hey, at least I got my full combo apparently on the face, judging by the KO splashes. And it's mad again. Ow. Got greedy. Got punished. Such is life. Ow. Seems SP mode in guild style also reduces the number of scrapes it takes to sharpen by 1. That's neat. I like taking less time to sharpen. I don't like getting thunderbolted, though. I find it interesting that in Monster Hunter Stories, Kirin has among the lowest max HP totals of any monsters. Not the absolute lowest, but among the lowest. Makes up for it a bit with some solid defense, but honestly, I think you're better served going with other electric-type monsters. Just because it's an Elder Dragon doesn't mean it's actually good. Though its unique skill is very good and should be given to just about any electric-type monster. Ooh. Ah! Dang it. This Kirin's a jerk. I hope you're all aware of that. I ought to just get another ride is what I ought to do. Or another KO. Either one would be perfectly acceptable for the purposes of getting Spinning Meteor off. Or killing it works. Here, Spinning Meteor, go! While you can still hit it. There we go. We can pretend it was the Spinning Meteor that killed it. Kirin is hard to get a good look at because it's actually kind of small. It looks like its textures are not the highest res, The fact that they've got the whole... Wow, there's a like purple aura at the bottom of the screen. That's annoying. Makes it really tough to get a good look. Yeah, the bump mapping on the textures really helps the scales kind of pop. So they're really clear despite being not the crispest texture. And I mean, the hair is just solid white. I don't know that there's even any kind of texture on it at all. Yeah, I don't see anything other than just solid white. So I'm going to assume there's no actual texture on the hair. But the scales look pretty neat. Especially if you're not getting super zoomed in, which really you shouldn't be. Like in this image here, the scales look just fine. So yeah, Kirin is an okay looking monster. But I'm glad to be done with it because I don't care for it. And next up, because that's the end of this episode, next up we are dealing with a monster that we've kind of already dealt with. But, I mean, I guess it'll be fully molted this time. Shigara Magala. See you then, friends.